Okay, today our story this is an excerpt from a short story by Mark Twain. It's called What Stumped the Blue Jays. And this is an example, a wonderful historical example of personification. Remember that personification is where an author gives human characteristics to an animal or an object, like a pencil or a bracelet, and they make that object or that animal seem human by the way they speak about it in their writing and what they say it can do and things of that sort. They give it human characteristics. So we're going to listen to listen and read this first section of of Mark Twain's story, and listen for the many ways that Mark Twain makes the Blue Jays sound like human beings. Okay?
Animals talk to each other, of course. There can be no question about that. But I suppose there are very few people who can understand them. I never knew but one man who could. I knew he could, however, because he told me so himself. He was a middle-aged, simple-hearted miner who had lived in a lonely corner of California, among the woods and mountains, a good many years, and had studied the ways of his only neighbors, the beasts and the birds, until he believed he could accurately translate any remark which they made. According to Jim Baker, some animals have only a limited education, and some use only simple words, and scarcely ever a comparison or a flowery figure, whereas certain other animals have a large vocabulary, a fine command of language, and a ready and fluent delivery. Consequently, these latter talk a great deal. They like it. They are so conscious of their talent, and they enjoy showing off. Baker said that after long and careful observation, he had come to the conclusion that the blue jays were the best talkers he had found among birds and beasts. "There's more to a blue jay than any other creature. He has got more moods and more different kinds of feelings than other creatures. And, mind you, whatever a blue jay feels, he can put into language, and no mere commonplace language either, but rattling out-and-out book talk, and bristling with metaphor, too. Just bristling. And as for command of language, why, you never see a blue jay get stuck for a word. No man ever did. They just boil out of him. And another thing, I've noticed a good deal, and there's no bird or cow or anything that uses as good grammar as a blue jay. You may say a cat uses good grammar. Well, a cat does. But you let a cat get excited once, you let a cat get to pulling fur with another cat on a shed nights, and you'll hear grammar that will give you the lockjaw. Now, ignorant people think it's the noise which fighting cats make that is so aggravating, but it ain't so. It's the sickening grammar they use. Now, I've never heard a jay use bad grammar, but very seldom. You may call a jay a bird. Well, so he is, in a measure, but he's got feathers on him and don't belong to no church, perhaps. But otherwise, he is just as much human as you be. A jay hasn't got any more principle than a congressman. A jay will lie. A jay will steal. A jay will deceive. A jay will betray. And 4 times out of 5, a jay will go back on his solemnest promise. A jay can outswear any gentleman in the mines. You think a cat can swear. Well, a cat can. But you give a blue jay a subject that calls for his reserve powers. And where's your cat? Don't talk to me. I know too much about this thing. Yes, sir, a jay is everything that a man is. A jay can cry. A jay can laugh. A jay can feel shame. A jay can reason and plan and discuss. A jay likes gossip and scandal. A jay has got a sense of humor. If a jay ain't human, he better take in his sign, that's all.
Hey!